Hey guys, just to let you know, this is not a sponsored video. Enjoy! Hi guys, my name is Frankie and today I'm going to be talking about the vegan food subscription box Purple Carrot that I have recently been doing. This is actually month 2 of my box. So I'm basically going to be talking about the food and my experience with it. So I'm not really going to be talking much about the meal plans and the price, whether it saves you money and all that kind of stuff. If you're really more curious about that type of stuff, then I suggest you go to the Purple Carrot website. But I'm just basically going to be talking about the food and my experience with this box. First things first, why in the world did I go with a vegan food subscription box? I'm not vegan. Just because I'm not vegan doesn't mean I can't appreciate different types of food. Now, the main reason why I went with this box was because I wanted to learn something, how to make my vegetables taste better, do things that I had never thought creatively with my vegetables. Usually what I do is I cut them up, I put them on a baking sheet, stick them in the oven, or I saute them, or put a little chicken stock and cook them on top of the stove. I really didn't want to do that. I kind of wanted to expand my horizons. If you play The Sims, when they had a cooking skill, I kind of wanted to gain a cooking skill. So that's kind of what I was doing with this. And right now, I'm just basically showing you what I got in my box, what has come. They give you 3 menus, so these are basically what I'm going to be cooking. And you'll see that throughout the video. Here I'm just showing you the bottom of the box. This is how they keep the food cold. Right now it's like in the middle of summertime. So this is how the box is insulated. Now with the first month, I was already experiencing new things I had never tried. Like number 1, red lentils. I've had lentils before, but not red lentils. Especially seasoned with paprika or smoked paprika and cumin and a little bit of salt. I thought it was just so delicious. It's so simple, but I thought it was so delicious. And actually, that was not the main meal. That was something that's supposed to go into like a quesadilla. But after I made it to go into the quesadilla, I kept making it afterwards. Also, what I like to do is when I first get a recipe, do it like they say it. But what I find is that everyone, when you get the recipe, you read it once thoroughly, once all the way through. What I would do, or what I used to do, was I would start and I would read part of the recipe. And I would start cutting up my vegetables and cutting up my herbs and doing all this kind of stuff. And then throwing it all in the pan, getting ready to cook. Then I go look at the next step and I realized I mixed things I shouldn't have mixed with. I cooked things too early. I mixed stuff with and so I was like, okay. And I thought it was just me, but when my mom was helping me cook as well, she did some of the same things. So I'm like, okay. So now when I have a recipe, I make sure I read all the way through before I start doing anything. And this might sound simple, but I'm used to recipes where you just read part of it, you do the part, then you read the next part, you do the part, and nothing really happens. It's just, it all kind of goes together. But besides the lentils, I also like Thai basil. I hear it all the time on MasterChef. Oh, I put this in the Thai basil. But like, I had never used Thai basil. Portobello peppers. Or no, actually I said that wrong. Poblano peppers. I never, used that. Never, that's not a part of my cooking. So this has definitely opened my eyes to a world of seasonings and vegetables that I normally don't buy or eat. Talking about don't buy and eat, my very first week I got some type of portobello mushroom tacos. And I was like, ugh, I think I kind of want to skip this box because I'm not a huge fan of mushrooms. And so I was thinking, well, you don't know, it might be really good. I mean, I don't hate mushrooms, but if I had a choice, I would avoid them. So I was thinking about it. I was talking to Desi. She was like, oh, well, at least try it once, and if you didn't like it, well, then now you know for next time. So I went ahead, got the box, cooked up the poblano. Now I'm saying poblano and portobello. But anyway, I got the poblano mushrooms. I mean the portobello mushroom. Found out I enjoyed that dish. So, and I would actually make it again, but I would make it when my mushroom loving family members are over. But I would have missed out if I had just skipped. Now, also, what I learned about this box is that box is basically a box for people who want to, like to cook, who maybe want to learn to cook, but this is not a instant meal type of a box. You're not going to get that with this box. Now, before I subscribed to this box, earlier on in my life, basically I would get home late, I'd be so tired, I didn't feel like cooking anything, and I started developing bad habits. So I basically do what a lot of people do. You know, go to the fast food place or go to some type of restaurant and get takeout, get delivery, whatever. I went out so often that it wasn't even fun anymore, and I didn't even really want to eat any of the food that was out there. I was just eating it because I needed something. And I know that's not good on my pocket, it's not good for me, so I kind of wanted help. You know, like also make my vegetables taste better, think of meal plans, things like that, and trying to cook, because I know I had to cook and try to get myself more acclimated and back into cooking. And I'm going to tell you, the first month, it was not easy. I didn't feel like cooking anything when I came home. I wanted something quick and easy that I could put in the microwave. And because of this attitude that I had, I ended up occurring boxes, you know, of food that I didn't cook. And then it became, oh, I have to hurry up and cook all this stuff so my food doesn't go to waste. And what was a big help was my family came down to visit and I had to feed them. Now, what I learned is the meal that I have is basically for one person or like basically like two servings. So it's either one person gets two meals or two people get one meal, something like that. But what I found when I make one meal is that it expands like three grown adults can eat one meal, at least for my family. And then when Desi came over and my family was here and my parents were here, we just cooked two meals and everyone was fed and we still had a little left over. So they give you a right amount of food, like a good amount of food, in the box. But also sorry, I'm stretching. My mom basically helped me prepare up these meals, so a lot of them didn't go to waste. Now, also what I find is maybe you shouldn't do this, but if your food happens to is most of the things are in your bag are like grains, seasonings, things like that. So there's like a few perishable produce. If by chance it does go before you get a chance to cook it, not that you necessarily want to, but you are still able to go to the grocery store and pick up, you know, a head of lettuce. Well, actually, you don't. Pick up, you know, a little bit of broccoli, pick up whatever. And it's not like you have to go find all the ingredients again because, you know, some of the mayonnaise and the vegan cream cheese and stuff like that is still good. So it's mostly the produce you'd have to go and pick up. Also, what I discovered because of this, the skip button. I knew it was always there, but you know, you always like, I gotta get every box every week, cook every food and every meal and eat it. And if that is you, that is great. But for me, I have to put a stop on it and put on the skip button. It's not that I don't want the food, it's just that I don't want to waste the food. And here on the screen, I'm basically making the agadoshi tofu broth. I don't fry a lot of food, but doesn't the sound of that frying tofu sound so good? Now I'm building the bowl slash plates of the 3 meals that I receive. And I want to let you guys know that each meal took place on a different day. So I didn't make all these meals at one time. Did you hear that crunch of that tofu just now? As we all know, there's a bunch of different food subscription boxes out there. And I can't tell you why I decided to go with purple carrot. For some reason, it just kind of resonated with me. And I said, okay, let's try it. And if, doesn't work out, well then just cancel it. But, give it a chance, give it a shot, see how you like it. So far, I'm liking it. I also learned that if there's something that you think like, I want to put this seasoning in this, but it doesn't say to put this in there. I think it's okay as long as you're not doing something totally crazy where you're messing up the dish. I think it's okay to put a little extra seasoning in something or make it to, I guess what I'm trying to say is make it more to your liking or your taste. What I find is that sometimes they'll put something in there like olives or walnuts, and I'm not a huge fan of nuts and olives, so I leave it off. So if there's things like that in the dish that you're like, oh, I don't like that, don't feel obligated to put it in your dish just because it says to put it in the dish. You know, back in the day where they had those Fabio commercials where I can't believe it's not butter. Well, that's kind of how I have like these moments where I'm like, I can't believe this is not a dairy product because the vegan butters and the sour creams and the cream cheeses taste pretty good. Also, with these tacos, they're a little on the spicy side, and that's probably because of the chili peppers you had to put in it. Also, I have never had tempeh before, and I think I like tempeh better than I like tofu. Also, they give you little jars, and I just kind of kept mine handy, and you can use these to basically put any kind of sauce that you have left over. here I'm just showing you my roasted vegetables. Now I'm putting these olives in because I never tried these olives before, and they're very salty, but I like them more than the normal black olives. But at the same time, I ended up just taking them off my dish at the end. Thank you so much for joining me on this food adventure.